vocabulary yet. It sounds like you find the scientific topics challenging because of the specialized vocabulary. That makes sense. Those terms can be tricky if you're not familiar with them. Have you tried focusing on learning some common science related vocabulary? That might make that last section a bit easier.
No, and that's not what I wanted so far. But after the last part of the scientist subject, I'll just there's a tons of vocabularies I don't know the meanings. So I just try to figure out each of the words and use like Google it and to know the meanings. And when I try, I just practice again until I fully understand the part four. So then I'll be done with that. So let's you don't need to worry about it. So yes.
It sounds like you've got a solid strategy for handling the difficult vocabulary in the last part of the IELTS listening test. Here's a clearer way to express what you said. I know that the last part is challenging for me because there are so many vocabulary words I don't know. So, after going through the scientific section, I try to figure out each word by Googling it to understand the meanings. Then, I practice that part over and over again until I fully understand it. Once I do, I'll be done with that section, so don't worry about it. It's great that you're taking the time to learn those new words and practicing until you're confident. That determination will definitely pay off. How do you feel after you've mastered a difficult part like that?
It just feels like oh my gosh, and I think before I didn't just practice out. So I think okay, so my English is okay. At least I could communicate with the foreigners because I used to do. And once in a cafeteria, and I just met foreign just a female and who's studying, and I'm pretty sure she's a foreigner. So just say hi to her, and yeah, we try to communicate with each other. She's from UK, and she's an English teacher in here, and I haven't just speak with her for like 30 minutes. I feel so really like, oh yes, English is okay. And just really it's kind of proud myself. Yes, English is okay, and you can communicate with foreigners. You could totally understand what they're talking about. But over time, as you said, over time, and I this year, I really just feels like frustrated about I couldn't just talk about like discuss about some deeply topics like histories, like scientists, like politics. I noticed like some politics, the Western politicians, but I couldn't like say what they want to do for their countries. Yeah, just there's so many words I couldn't pick up and to use. So that's why. Yeah. So until I met IELTS, oh, I say, oh wow, IELTS is pretty difficult. Now I realize my English is still like kindergarten kids.
It sounds like you've had some great experiences using English. You're realizing that there's always more to, especially when it comes to more complex topics. Here's a clearer version of what you said. I feel like, oh my gosh, when I think about how I used to practice before, I thought it was enough just to be able to communicate with foreigners. I remember once at a cafeteria, I met a woman from the UK who was studying here and working as an English teacher. We said hi and tried to communicate. It made me feel good. Like, okay, my English is fine. I can talk with foreigners and understand them. But over time, I started to feel frustrated because I realized I couldn't discuss more complex topics like history, science, or politics. I know a bit about Western politicians, but I couldn't explain their policies or what they want to do for their countries. There are so many words I don't know how to use. So when I started preparing for the IELTS, I realized, wow, it's really difficult, and my English still feels like it's at a kindergarten level. It's totally normal to feel this way, as you push yourself to learn more challenging material. The fact that you're aware of this and are working hard to improve shows just how dedicated you are. It's like you're leveling up your English skills. How do you plan to tackle those more complex topics in the future?
I just don't have any plans. I don't know how could I reach like goal like just complex just like advanced speaker, advanced English speaker. I couldn't. I don't know. I had no idea. I just don't have no idea. And some people they say you should read more. You should read more. Yeah, so like you could just yeah just read more. But yeah, I was trying to read the a short story, with materials. I download it from learning English website and read. It's there's some less materials is for just kindergartens, and they have like several and tons of short stories, and it's a really good and I mean I think it's good for me to learn it, and as well it's good for like learn it as a life guide, I think, because they have like some classic stories about the rabbits and turtle, and the boy use the sheep. I'm sorry, sir. A boy lying to the in their farm their villagers about the wolf will be coming. I forget the title that. Yeah, they have these classic short stories. Yeah, I really I really like to. Yeah.
It sounds like you're feeling a bit unsure about how to reach an advanced level in English, but you're already taking some good steps by reading. Here's a more organized version of what you said. I don't have any specific plans right now, and I'm not sure how to reach the level of an advanced English speaker. I just don't know. Some people say I should read more, so I've been trying to do that. I've been reading short stories with materials I downloaded from a learning English website. The materials are for kindergarten with lots of short stories. I think they're good for learning English and also for life lessons. They include classic stories like the one about the rabbit and the turtle, and the story of the boy who lied about the wolf coming. I forgot the title. I really like those stories. Reading is definitely a great way to improve your English, especially when you're learning new vocabulary and understanding different sentence structures. Starting with simpler stories is a good idea, and as you get more comfortable, you can gradually move on to more complex texts. Have you considered gradually challenging yourself with slightly more advanced materials as you improve? It could be a good way to keep progressing. Also, if you'd like, I can suggest some ways to help you reach that advanced speaker level.
Yeah, yeah, I would like, yeah, I really like, I, I really love, I really love to, just have some suggestion from you, like, how I can just like reach like advanced level. Yeah, that's more or less what I wanted, and yeah, so there's a question for you. Last weekend, I was watching a documentaries about migrants. So some people they say migrants. Some people they say it's migrants. Some people say immigrants. So which one is correct? Is my question. Thank you.
I'm glad you asked. I'll definitely give you some suggestions on how to reach an advanced level in English. But first, let's clear up your question about immigrants and migrants. Immigrants are people who move to a new country with the intention of settling there permanently. For example, someone who moves from Mexico to the United States to live and work there is an immigrant. Migrants is a broader term that refers to people who move from one place to another, either within a country or across borders. Migrants might move temporarily or permanently, and for various reasons like work, education, or to escape difficult conditions. So all immigrants are migrants, but not all migrants are necessarily immigrants. Summary: use immigrants when talking specifically about people moving to another country to live there permanently. Use migrants when referring to people who are moving, regardless of whether it's within a country or between countries, and whether it's temporary or permanent. Now, here are some suggestions to help you reach an advanced level in English. 1. Expand your reading. Gradually start reading more complex materials, like articles, essays, and books on topics that interest you. Start with simpler materials, like the short stories you mentioned, and slowly work your way up to more challenging content. 2. Listen to English daily. Expose yourself to different accents and vocabulary by listening to podcasts, watching movies, and following news broadcasts in English. Try to listen to content on a variety of topics, including those that are more challenging for you, like science, politics, or history. 3. Practice speaking. Engage in regular conversation practice. You can do this by joining language exchange groups, speaking with native speakers, or even recording yourself, as you're already doing. Try to discuss more complex topics, even if it's challenging at first. 4. Write regularly. Practice writing essays, journal entries, or summaries of what you've read or watched. Focus on using new vocabulary and complex sentence structures. You can also try to mimic the style and structure of the articles or books you read. And 5, study advanced vocabulary and grammar. Make a habit of learning new words and phrases daily, especially those related to advanced topics. Use these new words in your writing and speaking. Additionally, review advanced grammar rules and practice them in context. 6, take an English course. Consider taking an advanced English course, either online or in person. This can help you target specific areas where you need improvement and get feedback from teachers or peers. Does that help? Would you like to dive deeper into any of these suggestions?
Okay, so yeah, I really appreciate your suggestions and your advice. And how about what I say is about, how about I read like the short stories and from the website I download it, and let's go through it together. Maybe I read it, and if there's some pronunciation I didn't pronounce it well, and you could just help me to, help me get out of there. Yes, get out of there. So yeah, cool. Yes, yeah, I want to read it for you.
I'm so glad you found the suggestions helpful. And I think it's a great idea to read the short stories together. I'd be happy to help you with pronunciation and anything else that comes up. Whenever you're
Hmm?
ready, go ahead and start reading the story, and I'll be here to guide you and
What?
correct any pronunciation issues. Let's do this.
Uh, what? Just like咋啦? What's going on?
It's
ChatGPT 啊？